So I just wanted to, hello, my name is Kesley and I will be your instructor today. You are in the Cricut 5 Easy Ways to Heat Up Your Fashion. So today's class, we're going to talk all about Cricut Easy Presses and what you can heat up and work with. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know we got a little bit of a late start. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. I have some slides to share with you just to talk about kind of the 5 easy ways to heat up your fashion. So the first one is adding a monogram or a label. So adding a monogram or a label to your clothes adds a timeless touch. It also allows you to customize store-bought items. I love the sweatshirt and the sweatpants. I think during our COVID days, we lived in sweatpants. So I did a lot of laundry with sweatpants. It would have been nice to have monograms on everybody so I knew whose was whose. And then you can also add labels to your clothes. You can, again, a store-bought shirt, you can add your name or add your number, your jersey, your favorite team, anything fun like that. Now, I will tell you, labeling also your clothes helps if your children go away to sleepaway camp. Everything has to be labeled. So that's always a great way to do it. The second way to heat up your fashion is during occasions. And what better occasion than things like holidays or Shark Week, or I love this one with the broom. You don't have time to make a full-on costume, but you can certainly make a t-shirt for a costume. And then you can always add some glitter vinyl and go glam. So again, you can even go in your closet and grab a scarf you like and add some glitter vinyl to it or a printed vinyl, just a little embellishment to update your look. And then you can make it uniquely you, but with fun and fashionable. I thought these shoes were perfect example of how to be fun and fashionable and right this week of St. Patrick's Day. So that's a great one. And this top is a really fun way to express your unique self. These flowers are made with a printed vinyl, which is such a good look, and it just kind of jazzes up your outfit. And then the last one is to upcycle. So refresh your wardrobe. I have a piece here we're going to work on that I got some paint splatters on, and I'm going to show you how I can kind of disguise those using vinyl. But you can add just a little bit of a design to update a piece of clothing to give it a little bit of a fresh look. If you like to go thrifting, you can think about finding clothes that you can add big designs to, or even just a little small, the love on a pocket is cute. I also, as I was working on this, I found another pair of shorts, because we're not in short season yet, but I found another pair of shorts from last summer that had some tears in it. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I could use some iron-on vinyl and cover up those tears. That would be great. So how do you make it easy? Well, we use the Cricut Easy Press, and the Cricut Easy Press combines the speed of a heat press with the convenience of an iron. So you can go fast. It gives you a foolproof heat transfer that will last for a very long time, even after repeated washes. So the Cricut Easy Press is this machine right here. And there's different sizes. So I think it's a 12 by 10 and a 9 by 9 size. And you can set your heat, and it has a timer right on it. So one of the big difference between the Cricut Easy Press and a home iron is you have a much bigger face to work with that heats up, and you get consistent heat across the entire bottom of the face. With a home iron, your heat, it tends to be concentrated in the middle of the iron and can get a little bit lighter at the bottom and a little bit hotter at the tip. So by using the heat press with consistent temperature across the plate, you get a better press of your materials. So if you do have an at-home, your household iron, you would use it similar to a heat press, but you need to be aware of a few other settings. For example, you want to make sure your steam is off. You want to make sure that you're using it on the highest setting possible. Usually like a cotton setting is the highest setting. And you have to think about how you're adding pressure to your home iron. Oh, there we go. Now the Easy Press, it combined with the Cricut Heat Guide gives you a perfect press every time. So unlike a home iron, the Easy Press, you can set the temperature of your Easy Press up to 400 degrees so that you can use it with the infusible ink transfer sheet. So that allows you an even higher temperature than your home iron can get. The Cricut Easy Press combines with the website, the Cricut, I think it's cricut.com/heat press. We'll go into that and I'll show you what that looks. And you just simply plug in which machine you're using, what temperature you're using, your materials and your blanks, and it will tell you what temperature to set your heat press and how long to press your machine at. But it got even easier with the Easy Press 3. Now the Easy Press 3 combines that technology of the temperature settings and your time settings all into your app on your phone. So it allows you, the Easy Press 3s are the newest ones, they just launched, and they have Bluetooth in the different machines. So what you do is you turn it on, you sync it with an app on your phone, and then your phone will walk you through how to press your project. So we're going to go into that, and I'm making sure my phone is all ready to go when we get there. But it really just, it makes it so much easier. In using an Easy Press 2, I thought, oh, this is so great. It's such an improvement over my home iron. I get flawless results every time. But then the Easy Press 3 comes along and you just think it can't get any easier, and it did. It walks you step by step by step. So you really never miss a step with the Easy Press 3. So I love that. And then it connects with the Cricut Heat app on your phone, and you can just do it right there. And it's great too because it's portable. So you'll see I have to write my notes down when I use my Easy Press, what settings are and everything like that. And then I go over to where I have my Easy Press, and then I have all my little sticky note with my notes. Here it's all on my phone and it's just a swipe away. So this is a great chart to help you sort of decide if you're in the market for an Easy Press, which one is the right one for you to use. And it really depends on what you're going to make. So if you're into hats, you might love the new Cricut Hat Press, which I have right there. So I've got a hat all set up. I'm going to show you how that works. Super exciting new technology. If you're into home decor, little smaller projects, the Cricut Easy Press Mini might be the perfect project for you. My son took one to college for some of his projects he's working on. So it's a great portable, good apartment living. It heats up really well. We use it a lot on cheer bows. So our mini press gets a workout for sure. And then we also have a press for mugs. So if you're into making mugs, we have a press for mugs. But what if you're more into the t-shirt, home decor, custom gifts things? If you're making bigger items and you're making mid-sized projects, you're going to want to see what's next. So we have two other machines to work with, and that is just the Easy Press, and deciding if the 9x9 is the right size for you or a 12x10 is the right size for you. And then if you have a side hustle, you make hundreds of t-shirts at a time, the auto press is something you're going to be interested in. So there's 3 parts to putting your project together. You need to have your materials, your Easy Press, and the heat guide. And this is the online heat guide that goes with the Easy Press 2. And we also have the Heat Press app, which goes with the Easy Press 3. So when you're designing your image for your shirt, we have a powerhouse of creativity using Cricut Design Space and Cricut Access. There are thousands of projects just exclusive for t-shirts, and it's just so easy to go in, find a design you like, cut it out, decide, do you want to use vinyl, iron on vinyl, or do you want to use an infusible ink, which way you want to go, and then choose your base material. The iron-on vinyl, there are so many different types of iron-on vinyl to choose from. We have Express and Everyday. The glitter is one of my favorites, and the holographic is always so much fun to work with. And we even have some licensed mesh Disney to work with. Okay. So that's the quick walkthrough of the machines, but I'm sure you'd rather see us roll up our sleeves and get things heated up around here. So I do want to let you know we have 2 more upcoming classes for March. The Cricut Maker, everything you need to know about the Cricut Maker, how to pair your blades with your materials. And then I just am so excited about the stackable mug class. So if you want to heat up your coffee before actually putting it in a cup, you might join us for this class where I show you about the mug press. So that is a great class. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. Oops, sorry, you're seeing everything. Maybe I can get that. There we go. All right, so we're going to stop sharing and we're going to go ahead and get started with our first project. So I have a few projects to work on. I think the first one I'm going to show you is sharing how to find the project in Design Space. And because my computer shut down, I need to plug back Design Space real quick. So we may slide over and do another one beforehand. Let's do the other one beforehand while that is opening up for me. So I'm going to just go over to my overhead camera here. And I have, is it not? Oh. There we go. All right. So here is my overhead camera. Now I have my mini press right here. So the Cricut mini press, it's really tiny. The face of it is about 2 inches wide by maybe 3 or 4 inches tall. It really is a great press, and I use it for, like I mentioned, cheer bows. I use it a lot when we do cheer bows and things like that because it's so tiny. I've even in a pinch taken it on the road with me and used it in the car. If you have an outlet in your car, you can do that. So the mini press, it's small, but it's mighty. And it has 3 different settings. Let me see if I turn this, maybe that's better. Okay. It has 3 different settings. And so you just turn it on and you have light heat, medium heat, and a higher heat. So I usually, I'm going to do some vinyl. So I'm going to put it on the, on this one here, on the third highest. So while that's heating up, can't have too many going at once. I'm going to show you what we're going to work on. Now, this is the Easy Press mat, and these really get a good workout. So I use it for all kinds of things, but I had these shorts that I had gotten some paint on. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but I'd gotten some paint on my shorts last summer when we were restaining our deck. And do you ever have a pair of shorts and they just fit perfectly and you just love them, but then you ruin them because you wear them so much. So what I thought would be fun would be to kind of cover up some of these paint splotches and add a little rainbow on the corner of my pocket. So I went in Design Space and I found the rainbow and I converted it to all white. I cut it out of white iron-on vinyl, and I'm going to show you how I did all that step. But then I'm just going to place it onto my shorts. And while this is heating up, I'm going to make sure I have my next one ready to go. Oh, there we go. So it just beeped and the light went from red to green. And because it's such a small little vinyl piece, I can just put that on there. And I'm going to look at my watch and give myself about 30 seconds to let that go. Now, I did a mistake. I should have heated up my material for about 15 seconds before putting my vinyl on. I just got a little excited there. So let's see. This is just going on for about 30 seconds. I'm looking to see if there are any questions I can answer as we're going through. Now, most of the Cricut vinyl, you do peel when it's cool. So once it's cooled down, you can peel it off. Since I'm using the mini press here, I don't have a timer and I'm not quite sure how long, what the exact temperature is. So I'm just going to turn it off right now, take it off the heat right now. And then I'm going to flip it inside out and press for about 15 more seconds on the inside. So you usually heat it up maybe about 5 seconds, and then you give it like a little 15-second press on the opposite side, and then you let it cool down and your paper will come right off. The shirt I'm wearing today, the Lucky with the white glitter, when I made that and I turned it over and I did my pressing on the other side of it, when I picked up my shirt, my backing fell right away and it had already dry and it already peeled off. So there we go. There's my first little rainbow right on my shorts, covering up minimizing the stain. It doesn't quite cover up the whole stain, but it's just a little decoration on my shorts. I could have even done like a whole little row of rainbows on these shorts. I might go back and add more, maybe add a little, it's summertime embellishment there. But now I've taken something that may have gone and been used for something else, and I've upcycled it and I can wear it again. So that's using the little mini press, and I just push it and turn it off. Now, all of Cricut's easy presses do have a safety setting. I think it's about 2 minutes, and it will turn off automatically. And all of Cricut's easy presses comes with this safety base. And this is a raised base with heat resistance. So when you put your iron into the base, it will not burn your table or anything like that. Now, I do normally like to move my cut mat when I heat. So when I get to my bigger irons, I'll move that over. All right, so let me go back to my camera, my main camera. I think my Cricut Access is now up and running. It's happy. It's doing what it needs to do. Let's see. Not quite yet. Yes, Dara. So you use iron on vinyl. And Cricut has so many, and Cricut and Michaels have such a huge selection of iron on vinyl. My shorts, I just used a white iron on vinyl. Did I have it here? Yeah. Here it is. So I just used a white iron on vinyl, and you're gonna put it in your cutter, and then you just cut your design out and then weed it. And I'm going to show you all those steps. I just had a little bit of a kersnuffle here with my morning. Okay, so here is my design space. Now, if I'm going to come in and I want to make a new t-shirt, so let's go to the home screen, and I'm going to type in, I just want to do a fun t-shirt. So I just will type in t-shirt, and I'm going to turn on my next heat press. So make sure that opens up. So I'm looking for a t-shirt project. Let's just see. My projects video playlist. Okay, let's see. Let me go to my canvas. We'll do this a different route. I'm going to go to my canvas. And we'll go start with a fresh canvas. Replace that one. Okay, so here I have a fresh canvas, and I'm just going to go to projects, and in the projects, I'll do a search for a t-shirt. And you will see so many choices of pre-designed t-shirts and projects that come up. And I don't know why it's not working. T-shirt, maybe I need to space it that way. There we go. So here are a nice selection of t-shirts, ranging all kinds of t-shirts, seasonal t-shirts, holiday t-shirts. And I'm just going to do this Be Kind t-shirt here. And then I'm going to just, I can customize it if I want to change the size or anything, but I know that this is the right size. It's 9 1/4 by 7 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to choose Make It. And then I just am going to cut it out without a mat. And because I'll be using smart vinyl, which lets me use my Explore 3 without a mat. Now, this is a key important part when you're using iron-on vinyl. Because you're flipping your design over, you need to mirror your design before cutting it. So on the prepare screen here, you need to click the mirror to on, and that flips your design around. And I'll show you why that's important when we go to the overhead. You're cutting on the back side of the mirror of the material. So you're actually, so you're actually, it's amazing how much electricity I use in this room. You're cutting on the back side of your material. So unlike if you use regular vinyl, you are cutting on the front side of your material, and the back side is your carrier. So with iron-on vinyl, because it has the design on the back and the carriers on the front, you have to flip your paper over and cut on the back side of your vinyl. Let's see. It's thinking about connecting. I'm plugged in. Let's try one more time. Fortunately, I've got this all cut out, but I want you all to see how it goes. There we go. So I'm going to be using Smart Iron-On as my material, and my light is flashing. So I'll stop sharing, and I'm going to switch back over to my overhead. Okay, so I have I'm going to use my holder because I have a nice roll of pink vinyl. Now the vinyl has a right side and a wrong side. So this dull side here is the back side of your iron-on vinyl, and the shiny is actually the carrier sheet. So this dull side is the side that basically has the adhesive on it that that when you heat it up with your iron, that's how that will heat up and adhere to your shirt. So that way it becomes a permanent part of your outfit, of your garment. It heats up and adheres to your garment. So you don't need to do any special care for washing it or any special care. Like someone asked in the future, do you need to put something over your vinyl to iron it? And you don't. You can just use it. You can just use it, iron it like regular. So what this does is it's cutting out, and it's actually cutting out the vinyl, not the carrier sheet. So the vinyl is the part that's facing up. The carrier sheet is the shiny part that's underneath. And that's why you have to mirror it, because when it comes out, so it's cutting out right now. This is how it's cutting the design out. I've already weeded it. So this is how it's cutting out that design. It's working hard. So there's the, now let me unload, and I will, like that. Okay, so what happens is your, the shiny side here is the carrier sheet. It's this clear piece of plastic here. That's the carrier sheet. So that's the shiny side. And if you removed all the vinyl design, you would still have this piece of clear plastic. So when you cut, you actually cut on the dull side, which is the vinyl part of it. And then you just would take your weeding tool and you would weed out all these parts. So this piece is all intact, it's solid. This side, the dull side, has had the design cut out of it, and then you just would come in and weed it out. So you just weed out your centerpieces and take it all off like I've done already. So this is how it comes out. Now I've done all my weeding already, and you can see my image is mirrored. So this is the back side of my vinyl where the adhesive is. And I'm going to take my t-shirt and I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to actually move my self-healing mat here. And I'm going to use a larger heating pad. I have all my materials hide under there to keep them flat. So let me grab, I'll use my larger pad here, and I'm going to use the this one, the Easy Press. Sorry, I've got to get my cords out. Okay, so I'm going to use the Easy Press here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is take my t-shirt, and I'm just going to give my t-shirt a little press here and make sure it's flat. So this is, I'm not sure if you can see everything. We only have so much space. Here we go. All right. So this is my heat press. Now I looked on the Cricut guide, heat guide online beforehand, and I know I need to set it to 280 degrees. I preheat my shirt for 5 seconds, and then I do light pressure for 30 seconds, and then I flip it over and do it for 15 seconds. So one way I like to preheat my shirt is to actually fold it in half so I can find my my half, the center of my shirt. So I just fold it in half like that, and I line it up, make sure it's all flat. And then I just take my Easy Press here and I put it on top, and it just heats it up for about 5 seconds. So I'll heat it up on one side, and then I just flip it over and I heat up the other side. But this gives me a nice center line for my design. So I'm going to heat that up like that. Okay, so now the great thing about the Easy Press is it has these quick buttons, so you can, if you manually have to change it. So it's going to be light pressure for 30 seconds. So I just press the clock button and I change my temperature down to 30 seconds. I think the last time I used this, you can see from my other material, I was making coasters last time. So I just need to pop this down to 30 seconds. And you do the same when you're changing your heat. You just change your heat, you push the heat button, and you do all those settings manually. Now I take my shirt, I'm going to lay it back out on my mat, and I have these my center guides that I made on my Cricut actually. And what I do is I use this as a center guide, and I can either line it up with the top of the collar or with the bottom of the collar here, and I line up the center on that folded line. A rule of thumb is about 3 fingers down from your collar is where your design will go. So I'm going to put this up at the top of my collar, line that up there, and then you just take your design, so my Be Kind design here, and you're going to put that onto the center of your shirt. Now I just simply fold it in half to find my center of my design. So now I know my center's there, and I line that up with the center of my marker here or with my iron line. And I just am going to line that up like that. And then if you want to make double sure that you have the right distance, you can measure with a ruler on the armpits. So you just open that shirt up and you just measure along here. Now, I'm going to show you when we get to the Easy Press 3, how much easier the settings are. So I've got my shirt, I've got this lined up. I'm happy with where that's going to be. I do a lot of eyeballing too, because a lot of times these are designs that are just for me. So sometimes I just eyeball it on there. Okay, so I've done the heat up on my shirt. I'm going to grab my Easy Press and place it over my design. Now I'm just going to look and make sure, sorry about my head, I'm going to make sure it's all covered. And then I just do the green button and I apply some light pressure. Now, the difference is if I were using a home iron, I would have to pick it up and move it. People will slide their iron like you're ironing a shirt, and that can cause your design to move. So I'm just going to hold it in place, give it some light pressure. And I do notice that I have a little corner down here that's not covered. So I'm probably going to come back here and I'm just going to put it on that for another 30 seconds. And while that's happening, this will start to cool here. Now, once I've finished with the ironing, with the heat set part of it, I shouldn't call it ironing, I'm going to hit that spot there just a little bit more. Once I finish with that, I will turn my shirt over and do 15 seconds. So again, the bigger model, this is the 9x9, and it has the safety holder here, which is great because you don't have to worry about setting it on your table or anything like that. I did that with my mini press one time. I accidentally got my scissors in there and then my scissor handles melted, but it did not damage my easy press. So that was really I was impressed with that. So I just wanted to get those little corners, make sure I had it all. With a design like this, I'd probably use the 12x10 once I looked at it and saw that it didn't quite cover it. Now I just put that on for 15 seconds and I'll turn that on right there. And then after 15 seconds, I'm just going to move it so I get everything covered. And then we'll let it cool. And as it's cooling, I'll show you the heat guide where I got my measurements from. So I'm just going to pick that up. So I'm picking it straight up and not sliding it. And I'm going to put that down just to make sure I get everything covered. All right. And then, okay. So now that goes back into the can holder there. And I'm just going to turn my shirt over and let it cool down. Some people who do a lot of shirts will do this on a marble surface so that the marble will help cool their design a little bit quicker. I think that's pretty clever. Now I'm going to set this one aside. We'll turn this one off and I'll set this aside. And then I want to show you the little one here, the same one. Okay. Before we move on to the next easy press here, I want to show you online where I did my heat press. So this is the Cricut Heat Guide, and I do just a Google search Cricut Heat Guide, and the heat guide comes up. So you select what type of material you're using. So you choose which machine you're using. I was using the Easy Press 2, and I was using Everyday Iron-On. And my base material is 100% cotton shirt. And I use the Easy Press mat. Now you don't have to use the Easy Press mat. You can use a towel or something like that. But I like to use the Easy Press mat. And then I just write down the instructions here on my little sticky note. And I have those handy. And so that's how I do that. Now I'm ready to peel this off. So I just started a corner, and I like to make sure that it's stuck down, adhered down, and that it easily comes right off. So you just pull your clear piece. So now you see the clear piece is coming off, but my design is staying down. And this is coming right off beautifully. And there we go. So now my design is done. And it's going to stay there. And I can heat it up just one more time. Sometimes I'll heat it up just a quick press and let it go. The transfer sheet, this clear transfer sheet, works as a barrier as well between the heat of your heat press and your vinyl. So sometimes I do put if I'm layering, you'll see when I layer, I do put something between my pieces, but that's that shirt there. And then let me show you our next design is, this is a fun one. So I wanted to show you the weeding live. So I have to weed, it just is removing the excess part of your design that you're not going to be using. So I just take my weeding tool here. It's just a little, looks like a dentist tool. And you just can pull out your extra pieces here. Some of you don't even need that. And I'm just going to remove these. Now we talked about monograms. So this is a monogram set in images in Design Space. So you just go into Cricut Access and look for image sets. And the monogram is one of the image sets. And I just love how forgiving the material is. So you can really, you have to be careful, but you can easily, it weeds off so easily, and you can kind of tear away as you go what you don't need. But you also want to be careful that you don't tear your design by accident. So I just use my weeding tool to kind of help separate that. And I pull this off like this. All right, so now let's look at, I'm going to go back over these. What I'm going to do, this is the glitter iron-on vinyl, and I'm putting it on a pair of socks. And the reason I'm doing that is the glitter iron-on vinyl is great for treads. So so that's how easy it is to weed. Okay, super easy to weed your materials. Now I'm going to share my phone. Hopefully we can do this. And I want to share the app, the app, so you can see how that works. Okay, so here we go. Now you'll see it's coming. Okay. So now you should see my phone and my app. So I just go to the Cricut Heat app here, and oh, I need to update real quick. That'll take 2 seconds. While that's updating, I'm going to put my design down. Guess what? I forgot to mirror my design here. I'm still going to do it though. Okay, so I'm updated. My machine just beeped at me and said it's ready. So I'm going to start a new project here, and my transfer material is going to be glitter iron-on. So I just click on that, and I'm going to apply it to a cotton poly blend. And that's all I need to do. And then I just click next. And it says the temperature is going to be 330 degrees. And I'm going to send those settings to the Easy Press. So, we'll just update it. So while that's working away, I may have messed it up when I lost my my Bluetooth, my electricity might have unplugged everything on me. No worries. Okay, I'll get my, well, that's updating. So Joy, are there any questions about the Easy Press 3 or the Easy Press?
We don't have any active questions right now.
Okay.
But I really like, are you going to put this onto the bottom of the socks?
I am. Yes.
That is so cute. So you would just put, so that if you put your feet up and you're reading a book, you have your little monograms on the bottom.
Exactly.
Adorable.
Isn't that cute?
Yes.
All right. So I'm heated up and I'm connected. So now let me stop sharing my, let's see, should I stop sharing or should I show the app?
Actually, do the app one more time, Kaz, so they can see the sandwich that you need to make.
Okay.
Like you can hit that replay right there in the center.
There we go. Yeah, so it shows you how to put everything together. So this is if you're putting a design on a bag, and it shows you how to do the warm up. So if you were to heat it up for 15 seconds, it shows you how to do that. Okay, so you heard it beep, it's ready to go. So I just follow that image and I put it on and I hit the green arrow, and now it's preheating my blank. Somebody asked if you can get the Easy Press now, and I believe you can, right? You can order, can you pick that up in store, or is that an online at Michael's?
It's only online. So you would need to order that online at Michael's, and it will be delivered right to your doorstep.
Perfect. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, I put my my vinyl on my feet, on my toes, and then I go ahead and put my machine back on top of it, find that image, and it says 30 seconds, apply light pressure. So I just apply that light pressure.
I love this new app because it really takes the guesswork out of everything, and it keeps you going in the right order.
It does. And wait, I have a layering. I don't know if we're going to run out of time. We might get to it, but I have a layering project as well that is fantastic for showing, like, using the app to go back and forth. So now I would flip my socks over and press them for 15 seconds. I have a little piece of cardboard for my feet inside my socks. So I'm not going to, I'm going to let those sit and not do the flip over. If I found that it didn't, once it cools, if it didn't adhere, I would then flip it over and do that. So we'll come back as that's cooling, and we'll come back to that one. So that's the 9x9 Easy Press right here. It's a great size. I probably use my 12x10 bigger, but I'm like a go big or go home kind of girl. So I like the 12x10, and it gives you just more space. But when you're working with smaller projects like the socks or home decor type of things, the 9x9 is a really nice size to have on your at hand. So let me grab the 12x10 here and show you this one. So this one you can see is a little bit bigger. I wish I had more camera space. I'd show you both of them side by side. And for this project, Joy, I cut out, I've already pre-cut my design here, and I'm going to use the Cricut infusible ink. And I need my Cricut t-shirt, my tape, and my design, and the sheet. Now this is what's going to be really cool. So
hey, you're still showing your other screen instead of
overhead
connection loss, instead of them being able to see what you're working on.
Okay, let me pull this back because I'm going to do I'm going to do the bigger machine. So I'm going to use this one here, the larger one, and I'm going to start a new project. And it's connected. So I just choose which material I'm using. I'll be using infusible ink transfer sheet will be my first layer. So this is a layered design, and I'll be using the Cricut t-shirt to do that. So now it's going to send to my machine the heat settings. So the using the infusible ink does require a higher setting. So when the Cricut Easy Press 2 and the Cricut Easy Press 3 work with the 400-degree setting required for the 400 degrees required for the infusible ink designs. So we'll just use that for this. Now that t-shirt centering piece is in my profile. So if you find me in Design Space, Kesley Anderson, I have that project shared, and I just used pens and my cutter to put that out. So you want to, if that's a good way to use pens. Okay, so now I've got my I'm heated up, and I'm going to send these settings to the heat press. So it's going to heat it up to 385 degrees. And while that's heating up, I also have my hat press heating up. So, while that's heating up, I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm actually going to, I'll bring over my hat press while that's heating up. How about that? Let me show everything. This is the cutest tool, the hat press. It's very similar to the mini press. It's just a little bit bigger. So in size, just for comparison, here's my hat press and here's the mini press here. So they're very similar in size. And they're similar in that they have the 3 different settings. So the first setting you would use if you're using light fabrics, heat sensitive fabric. The medium setting is the setting you'll use for most types of hats. And then the third setting is the setting you would use if you're using infusible ink. And the hat, I've already got my form in there, but the heat press comes with a hat form. And what you do is you put your design on your hat and you squish your form in there. Now, keep in mind, the form does have walnut shells in it. So if there's any concern for allergies, you'd want to find an alternate solution for the form, like a ham. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure that there's other solutions out there. And then you really, the heat tape for your hat press is this purple color. So it's a very strong heat tape to allow you to really tape your design around your hat. And the form is very mushable, so it will mush for you. So what we're going to do is we're heated up. My green arrow's on. I'm going to press the go button and put that on my hat. And then I just rotate the heater across the hat. Oops, I forgot to heat up my hat. Because you're supposed to do that before you tape it down, but I taped it down beforehand. But so the heat press is curved. So as I'm going across my hat, applying the heat, it's curving around the form of the hat. And this is, so Cricut now has hats available too. So they've got this gray hat and a black and white trucker hat, which you can work with infusible ink. And do that there. Now, I think you could also do this through the app, the hat press through the app. Yes. Okay. I didn't. I just went right for here because I'm working on my big press. Okay. So now it's beeping, telling me it's ready. It's heated up. Now I can see a little bit where I need to get a little bit more heavy. So I'm going to go back into it and really mush that design down onto my hat so that I make sure that that's really getting in there. And you can just take your iron and make sure that it's going back and forth across your design and that you're using the base, the foundation base, to really press against it. So you can see, like, I'm trying to make sure there's no gaps and I'm pressing that down so that the vinyl will adhere to my hat shape. And then you can wash your hat if you need to. I hand wash my hats if I ever need to wash them. I do hand wash them. So I'd probably hand wash these hats. But the white hat, the trucker hat, you can use infusible ink on. And I think you can use infusible ink on the gray ones, right, Joy? Can't you use infusible inks on these?
Yes, you can. If it's a poly, so you can use it another way. It'll show up better on the trucker hat because it has the white front.
Right. Okay, so there we go. Now this is a cool peel. So I'm just going to set this aside and let that cool off. But you can see this is my form and it's very mushable. So you can really get it into that hat, the hat shape. So you have that form to roll across and shape into. So we'll just let that cool off. And I think my big press is now all heated up. And I'll show you that last one. how to layer your design. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm going to set the hat aside with my socks so we can peel that off in a minute. And I'm going to come back and I've got my, my app is up in my phone. Carrie, let us know if you need me to show that form again, or if you got to see that. Can you use the mini press on a hat? You absolutely can use the mini press on a hat. It just, it doesn't have that form. So it's like if you were to use the mini press on a hat, you could definitely use the mini press on the brim of a hat. I wouldn't use the hat press on the brim of a hat, but you could do it a little bit on the brim here. On the hat itself, like you'd have to put your hand under it because you don't have something to push against to heat up and keep it smooth. So for a little design, that's what the mini press is perfect for, those little designs. But for a bigger design, like the Virginia name on my hat, it would be, I don't know that it would do as good a job as the mini press was, but that mini press is mighty. So I love that guy. Okay, so it says to preheat my blank for 30 seconds. So all I have to do is hit my green button. I've got the temperature is there. I probably should have had this here first. The temperature is up and everything. So I just have to put that on there and it's going to preheat my fabric. Is all iron-on cool peel. Cricut iron-on tends to be cool peel. So most of it is a cool peel. I'm trying to think if there's any that is a hot peel. Most of it's a cool peel. Okay, so now I've got my my design on, and I stacked it all together, but I cut out this really fun infusible ink pattern design. It's a neat animal set. Probably not calling that right, but look at how fun is that. Now, when I put this on, the colors will change a bit. And the great thing, I love that about this. I also like that the infusible ink has the measurements on the back. So I can line my design up right with the V on my neck and make sure I'm about 3 fingers down on there. And then I just measure out my sides and make sure I'm about 3.5 there. And a little bit more over here, but I'm going to have my shamrock is going to come out here. So I'm okay with that being a little bit more that way, because once it's on there, you'll see. Now I have this tape is also heat resistant tape. And this is a blue tape. It's not a strong grip tape, but you could use it if you felt like your design was going to move. I usually reserve that for when I'm working on designs that are going around something. So now it tells me 385 for 40 seconds. So I just bring that right over. I put it down and I hit it. Now my app on my phone is controlling all this. I didn't have to change the temperature. I didn't have to change the time. The app did it for me. I didn't have to think about it. And the app tells me each step of the way what I need to be doing. So that's that Bluetooth connectivity that takes care of that for me. And it does it for the infusible ink, for all the different types of materials you're using. You can even use this with wood and iron-on vinyl if you want to make a wood design or canvas. It's great. And what I would do is go to the heat guide and see all the different materials that you can use that will work back and forth. Now, this is a cool peel, but I can never wait long enough. And you can see it's already kind of starting to come up there. But you want to let it be a cool peel here. So while that's kind of cooling, I'm going to go back to my app and I have to start a new project on my app because my next step is this foil vinyl. So this is foil iron-on vinyl, which is so fun. So again, I can never wait. Look at that. How beautiful. And since it's already heat, I can just take my design and put it on. Now, again, when I did my design in my machine, my shiny side with the carrier was down and it cut out of the back side. And then I weeded out the parts that I didn't need. And so I'm just going to set this in place here. Now I've already cut out a little bit on my my gold here, so I can overlap these right on the shirt. And it will just come right up to the design there. I'm just going to overlap that right on there. Okay. So now my machine is saying, hey, ready for you. All right. So I'm going to put that down. Now this design I found in Design Space as well. So I'm going to start a new project and my transfer material is foil iron-on. And I'm going to apply it to a Cricut blank, a Cricut t-shirt. And I say next. And then I say send settings, and it's going to send those settings over again to my Easy Press. Now, this is where I will use a sheet on top of it, just like a Teflon sheet to hold it down. I don't have to because that infusible ink, it infuses the ink, infuses off of the transfer sheet and it soaks right into your shirt. So unlike, unlike your vinyls where they sort of sit on top, your infusible ink just soaks right down into the design. You can't even feel it or anything. Sorry, I'm working on my machine here. Yes, you know what? Good question. So on the layered heat, did you have to mirror even though there was no wording? I did mirror this even though there was no wording, just partly because just to stay in the habit of mirroring my design when you're doing iron-on. So I always am mirroring it. And then that way, the one time you don't mirror it, you don't have to, you're less likely to not mirror it than if you do mirror it. Okay, so I'm almost getting to my temperatures and everything. So, okay, let's see, let me turn this on. Okay, so he's thinking. All right, so I've got this ready to go. I'm gonna skip my preheat because I already did that. And then I'm gonna press it for 30 seconds at 380 degrees. So it's just gonna got 3 more degrees to go up. And while that's going up, let me go ahead and take my design off of here. So here's my hat with Virginia on it. And I live in the state of Virginia, so it's really nice to have a hat that's specifically for home. And then my socks, I can show you these little, peel the glitter off of this, the vinyl off of my glitter. Now, I did mention I forgot to mirror this. So we all make mistakes. I forgot to mirror my my glitter, but the glitter on here is like a nice little tread on your sock. So if you have kids or Christmas time, any, during the holidays, even Easter, I guess, if you celebrate Easter, it might be fun to make some socks for the holidays, any holiday. And then I just take out I have a foot guide that helps me keep my socks in shape. And then there's my socks. And that glitter definitely works as a gripper if your kids are running around or anything. Okay, so my temperature is going down, not up. And so while that's working, I don't want to over the foil. It can be, I like to be very careful with the temperatures I use on the foil. And Felicia, I know we've gone over time. Do we have a couple minutes for me to finish that design?
We probably can get about another 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, it should cool down by then. So are there questions, Joy, or things that we needed to tell about the, where did I get the template for the foot guides? That I just traced my foot on a piece of cardboard for that template. And the socks came from Michael, so those are great, but I just traced my foot on a piece of cardboard and then cut it out. So I could have that as a template, just a little piece of cardboard. And then the my t-shirt guide, if you go to my profile, Kesley Anderson in Design Space, I have this as a shared project that you can do. Yep.
Kesley, I think you have shown so many things so nicely during this class.
Oh, thank you. I hope I've given people lots of ideas.
Definitely lots of ideas. We do have one more live question if you want to answer that one.
Okay. Do you need to put something in between the layers of the t-shirt? Oh, good question. I don't usually. You probably should when using infusible ink, because I guess the ink could go through, but I think I mentioned I'm kind of a quick crafter. So I've never had it go through. So I don't tend to do that. I just kind of, I go with it. So is it important to use Cricut shirts and bags? I have other bags I want to use. So if you're using infusible ink has to be used with the right type of material. You can't just use like a cotton shirt. You have to use a shirt and blank that is that will take the design in, take the dye in from the infusible ink. The Cricut t-shirts do that. So when I use infusible ink, I do use Cricut materials, but if I'm using just regular vinyl, you can use any t-shirt. Like my lucky shirt today came from, this came from Michael's, and it's just in their t-shirt area. It's a Bella canvas t-shirt, I think. I'm just going to go ahead, Joy, and like go with it. We're going to do this for about 10 seconds. So you can override the app. You don't have to, like on the Easy Press 3s, you can still do all of your temperatures and heat setting as a manually. So I can just override that, and we're going to let that cool, and then that will peel off and just be so pretty. I love that one. All right. So I think that's everything. My shirt, this shirt is a cotton shirt from, and I pulled the tag. I think this is a Bella canvas. This is like my cheer mom. That's a layered glitter shirt. That's that was a cotton shirt. This is a Bella shirt here, the Bella canvas shirt. The Cricut shirt is a polyester shirt. Okay. All right. I guess that's everything. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope we have given you lots of answers to questions you have. And I hope that we have kind of given you some direction and ideas and inspiration. I'm so excited to be working with that hat press. I think it's gonna be really fun coming into summer when we're all, needing to keep shaded a little bit. So enjoy your afternoon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.